The story of this forbidden anime begins with Yuto being greeted by Megumi, Anna, and Meiko as he's about to leave for work. Yuto recently just started living alone, and although it was tough at first, he quickly got used to it thanks to these three housewives with bouncy personalities. On that morning, the ladies know it's Yuto's birthday, so they tell him they want to celebrate it not only because he's living alone but also as thanks for always being helpful to them. Yuto is flattered and feels entirely undeserving of their kindness, but the ladies are happy to do it for him. Megumi smiles and tells him that he doesn't need to be so reserved all the time. Yuto thanks them once again and offers to take out all of their garbage on his way out. The three housewives happily wave him goodbye, promising to bring plenty of good food later that night. Judging by the looks on their faces and how these things usually go, our boy Yuto will indeed be eating well that night. When Yuto arrives from work later, he's met with plenty of tasty drinks, food and merrymaking. While they celebrate, Yuto can't stop his eyes from checking out the bouncy personalities that his neighbors have. He then somehow feels sad that they don't look at him like a man at all. Megumi notices that Yuto is a little flustered and playfully asks him why he doesn't celebrate with his girlfriend. Yuto then bashfully explains that he has no girlfriend, and all the ladies are surprised. However, it's clear as day it's just an act because, let's face it, just by his looks alone, they would already know this guy isn't getting any motion at all. Of course, they don't tell that to his face. Instead, they continue to act confused and sweet-talk him, saying they'd assume he's popular with the ladies. Yuto says he's not and reveals he actually isn't interested in ladies his age. Instead, he prefers those who are older and more experienced than him. After that, the group continues to celebrate, and by the end of the night, Anna and Meiko make their way out, saying they'll leave everything to Megumi. Yuto goes to the kitchen where Megumi is cleaning up and can't help but admire her wonderfully plump cake. He then asks if he can help Megumi, but she declines, saying it's alright for him to act spoiled that night. She then says that since it's his birthday, she wants to reward him by doing whatever he asks of her. Faced with an opportunity that many of us simply dream of, Yuto doesn't beat around the bush. He immediately asks Megumi to pull him out from the pit of the maidenless and help him become a bona fide man of culture. Megumi didn't expect him to go that far and declined his request at first. However, she quickly changes her mind when he shows her his sad puppy dog eyes. She takes Yuto to another room and says she wants to freshen up first. However, Yuto knows time is gold, so he wastes no time and shows her his tongue twister skills. Megumi realizes he means business, so she also wastes no time and exposes her wonderfully bouncy twin personalities to him. To make things even, she also lets his Mjolnir out so it can breathe some fresh air and is surprised to see it's already in full rage mode. She didn't expect it to have such a menacingly imposing physique, mainly because of Yuto's seemingly cute face. After that, Megumi shows Yuto her apple pie and lets him inspect it thoroughly. She can't help herself from letting out cultured sounds because it's been quite a long time since she had her apple pie inspected. Unable to hold back any longer, Megumi lets Yuto's Mjolnir unleash its thunderclap on her apple pie. Of course, since it's his first time handling apple pies, Megumi tells Yuto to take it easy and start slow. Yuto is amazed that he's unleashing thunderclaps at Megumi. She then tells him that they can no longer be ordinary neighbors. Yuto says it's okay and wants her to look at him as a cultural exchange partner from that point onwards. Megumi accepts his resolve and tells him to take responsibility and show her what he's capable of. So, Yuto stops holding back and goes all out, letting his Mjolnir run amok and thunderclapping her warm apple pie. Megumi's composure goes out of the window, and she tells Yuto that she wants a direct deposit of his Mjolnir's liquid white gold. So, when the time is right, Yuto doesn't hesitate to deposit a massive shipment of liquid white gold directly into her bank account. Megumi's brain temporarily shuts down as it short-circuits after the direct deposit makes her step on a mountain of freshly scattered Legos. As she regains her composure, Megumi tells Yuto that he's a monster for making someone like her remember what it's like to step on Legos. She then happily says that she'll make him take responsibility for what he's done. The next day, the ladies visit Yuto again and he happily offers them some coffee. Out of nowhere, Anna asks Yudo how he feels to have escaped the pit of the maidenless. He is surprised that they actually know and tries to play dumb about it. However, Anna tells him to drop the act because they already know. Meiko says it was apparent because Megumi was crying like a crazed animal the other night. She says regardless of how good the soundproofing of the apartment was, Megumi's cultured sounds were just too loud. The two ladies then say that it's unfair that Megumi gets to keep Yudo for herself. They both then gather around him, claiming that good food needs to be shared with everyone. Megumi expresses her disappointment for not being able to keep Yudo for herself, but she says that it can't be helped. And just like that, Yudo's scorching summer vacation with the three lonely housewives begins. One afternoon, Yudo is helping out Megumi again. Once they're done, Megumi tells him to take a shower, but Yudo easily manages to convince her to join him. While there, Yudo uses his CPR skills on her warm apple pie, and it ends up overflowing uncontrollably with its caramelized juices. After that, Megumi tells Yudo to hurry up and let his Mjolnir run amok with its thunderclaps on her apple pie. Since he's a gentleman, Yudo doesn't keep her waiting and does precisely as she says. As a result, the gates of Valhalla open in front of Megumi. Yudo has always been thinking of unleashing the thunderclap on Megumi again. She tells him to stop saying that because the culture within her will go out of control again. Yudo quickly realizes that Megumi has been looking forward to meeting his Mjolnir again. Then, when he asks, she doesn't deny it at all. She then realizes that it is about time for Yudo to deliver another shipment of liquid white gold, and she eagerly anticipates it. Then, because the time is right, Yudo deposits gallons of liquid white gold directly into Megumi's bank account again. As the torrent of liquid white gold flows into her bank account, Megumi can stop gasping for air as her brain melts after Yudo makes her step on Legos again. On another afternoon, Yudo's Mjolnir quickly goes into rage mode after he receives a message from Anna that she'll be visiting him soon. When Anna arrives, she notices that Yudo already knows why she's there. So, she hugs him and says she's really looking forward to having a cultural exchange with him. Anna then summons Yudo's Mjolnir and says it's as impressive as she expected. She then wastes no time and uses her karaoke skills to calm it down. Since she's such a good singer, it doesn't take long for Yudo to donate a substantial amount of his liquid white gold accidentally, and Anna happily accepts all of it. After that, Anna also stops holding back and lets Yudo's Mjolnir experience her equestrian skills. She overflows with happiness as it's been a while since she's experienced such wonderful feelings again. She also notices the cultured expression that Yudo is making and tells him it's only going to get better from there. Not long after that, Yudo says he's almost ready to deposit his liquid white gold, and she tells him to go ahead and deposit everything directly into her bank account. So, when the time is right, Yudo does precisely as he's told because he always respects a lady's wishes. Anna then finds herself gasping for air when her brain short-circuits after she steps on Legos because of Yudo's generous deposit. Yudo then passes, and she tells him that she'll make him take lots of responsibility for waking up the slumbering culture within her from that day onward. The next day, Yudo is at Mako's house helping her out with chores. Mako apologizes for always making him help out, but Yudo says it's alright because he knows she needs all the help she can get. Mako then turns around with a smile and asks Yudo if he is expecting something since they're all alone after all. She reveals that she's already at her limit and wants to experience the famous thunderclaps of his Mjolnir. When they go to the change room, Mako notices that her warm apple pie is already overflowing with its caramelized juices, and it's all because of the thought that she'll finally get to experience his Mjolnir's thunderclaps. Sensing that she's already in desperate need of culture, Yudo wastes no time and sends his Mjolnir to action. Mako immediately starts gasping for air after her apple pie experiences the full brunt of Mjolnir's thunderclaps. Mako can't help but praise Yudo for being exceptionally skilled despite just recently escaping the pit of the maidenless. She wonders if the other housewives were the ones that helped hone his skills. Since he wants to let Mako see Valhalla, Yudo stops holding back and lets his Mjolnir rampage even more. Mako tells him to calm down because if not, she'll go weak and won't be able to stand because of her age. However, Yuto doesn't listen to her at all and continues his rampage as if he's desperate to give her the population +1 buff. Mako can do nothing but let out loud, cultured sounds and call Yuto a beast. Not long after that, Yuto deposits liters of liquid white gold directly into Mako's bank account, making her brain turn to ooze as she starts stepping on Legos uncontrollably. As she gasps for air and tries to recover, Mako tells Yuto to also look after her apple pie starting that day. The next day, Yuto is surprised when the three housewives greet him while wearing their old uniforms. He's concerned and asks if it's all right for them to dress like that. The ladies then say it's all right and that they're all doing it for his sake. The three of them show Yuto some labels on their skin which basically says their apple pies are now exclusive for him only.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.